When Orica Green Edge came onto the scene a few years ago, they bought themselves the biggest bus in the pro peloton, a bus that later became very famous for almost causing a catastrophe at the end of the first stage of the Tour de France in 2013. Now, we've already had a look inside the bus, but what we haven't done so far is look inside their team truck, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. Now, we are filming this truck tour on the first rest day of the Vuelta a España, and as you can see, the truck is the central part of the team on a rest day, a hive of activity. The riders and the mechanics are currently getting ready for their rest day ride, so all the bikes are prepped, the riders are just coming out now. I'm glad we weren't stood next to that when it looked like our fault. Now, back at the Tour de France, we did a video on what mechanics get up to on the rest day, and anyone that watched that will have realised that actually they have a very, very busy day. So this is Tulio, one of the most respected mechanics in pro cycling, actually was with the Cervelo test team. He's working on Sam Beauty's bike, and he said it's okay if we go and have a look inside. Right, so we shall start at the back of the truck here. As you can see, there are a lot of spare bikes for the riders still loaded onto here. Some of them are actually already on the top of the team cars, and of course the race bikes are outside the truck about to be ridden by the riders on their rest day. What you will notice is a distinct lack of time trial bikes here at the moment. We understand that they're actually bringing them out for the penultimate day when the time trial comes here at the Vuelta a España. So they're currently in San Sebastian, so they don't take too much room here on the bus. Now, as you can see, the team is sponsored by both Scott Bikes and also by Shimano. So we've got a whole range and stack of wheels here on the right-hand side of the truck, all different depths of the Dura Ace from C35s up to C50s, depending on the nature of the profile of the course. I'm not sure I'm going to get it out. The size, I've never seen such a big pump. That must get things to 100 PSI in about 2 pumps. It's an industrial standard. I think I might just leave it in there. Now, something which is quite interesting and also understandable if you've watched any of the Vuelta is looking on some of these rear wheels. The cassettes are huge, and that is because, of course, the Vuelta has some enormously steep finishes to some of their stages. So I've actually got some Ultegra cassettes on here, and that's an 11 all the way up to 32 teeth, so that the riders can get up the climbs without grinding too much. Up here we have some kind of checklist, so these are the numbers that the riders are using during the Vuelta, and these are all of the different bikes that they have open to them. So race bike, bike 2, bike 3, TT1 and TT2 as well, with all the riders' names here. Now, I'm not sure what all these different things mean. A little bit cryptic, I think you might say, but what I do like is the neat use of bike magnets for wheels, like fridge magnets. Look. Cheeky little chain keeper, do love them. Now, I've just spent about the last 5 minutes counting exactly how many wheels they have in total on their team truck, and there are 78 spare wheels here at the top, and then a further 24 if you include the bikes and the wheels next to them here at the bottom. Over 100, which is quite incredible really when you think that actually the team now is out riding. They've got some spare wheels in the car and on the bikes on the roof as well, so that's a lot of wheels to choose from. Down here we've got, as I said, all of their Scott bikes, so they've got the foil ones here, which are the aerodynamic version for Scott, as well as some of the team edition Addicts as well, which are more of the climbing bikes. They've got a couple of little bits down here, which I haven't seen what's in them yet. So they are the bar extensions for the time trial bikes, which aren't currently here. So they can be cut down to measure for the riders so that they're in their comfortable position and also within the UCI regulations. Right, on to the next hatch. So inside this one, we have a box of broken material. I bet there's a few of you at home that could probably bodge and reuse some of that. So it's a load of old tubulars again that have been cut, headset bearings and cups, etc., and a load of old chains as well. On this side, we've got all the spare Pro stems, Pro of course being a division of Shimano in various different lengths, some spare forks at that end, and a load of spare handlebars here on this side, with a description of what each of them are. So round, compact. Riders do tend to choose different shapes of bars and also, of course, different widths these days as well. So they've got spares for everybody in there. Okay, so that's the main mechanics part of the truck for you, but if you head round here, we'll get to Michał, the soigneur, and their part of the truck, which is close to the front. Now, this is the chance for them to catch up on some of their own washing on the rest day of the race, rather than just looking after all of the riders' clothes, etc. Here, as you can see, are plenty of the bottles and drinks, etc. they keep underneath the bus. He's already preparing some bottles, in fact, for tomorrow's stage. Loads of water, Aquarius, etc, etc. If you come up onto here, you see washing baskets, etc. Let's take a quick look at a few of the cupboards. Up here, thermos flasks. They can be quite handy when you get especially cold stages of Grand Tours. That doesn't happen particularly often in the Tour of Spain, but it can do, of course, in the Tour of Italy or the Giro d'Italia, which takes place in May. Whoa! Marshmallows! I think that's the first time I've seen marshmallows on a team truck. I don't know if I could get away with taking some. Twix, Snickers, Haribo, wine gums, Haribo eggs. It's like heaven in here. What have they got at the top? Loads of different cereals, muesli bars, etc. as well. Quite like that cupboard. Cutlery. And elastic bands. Forgot what they were called for a second. An egg cutter. The foil, etc., all the things that they use to wrap things up. I really like these. I haven't seen them before. I did the Katusha truck tour. So inside there are pre-cut foil wraps. And they're slightly different to the ordinary aluminium foil that we use for our cooking at home. They don't scrunch up quite so much. It's much easier for the riders to open the sandwiches that they get out of their feed bags and have in their pockets from the start of the race. What have we got in here? Room box. Okay, so this is probably the box that is often left in the corridor of hotels or in one of the soigneurs' rooms so that the riders can go and, well, actually this is the fridge. That's just a list of what goes in there. They'll often be able to go into the room and pick at certain healthy foods in between meal times if they're getting particularly peckish. But here, peckish, if they're getting particularly peckish. Yogurts. Oh, look at that, guacamole. Do you like a bit of guacamole? Chicken with bacon and cheese. Slushy. Musette caps. Oh, this is the point where I get to nick one and wear it for the rest of the video, if I can open it. Or maybe not. We've got more Haribo. Look, they absolutely love it. All sorts of different Haribo. I think I found them. It says, don't give away a lot of race caps. We have not so much left in service course. Look. Surely one is going to be okay. They must have some more coming soon. OBE rocks. There we go. Right, so that is the Orica BikeExchange truck. Thanks to Michał, the soigneur, and the mechanics such as Tulio for allowing us access to it, and of course to Orica BikeExchange themselves. We are very privileged to get access to these kind of things. Now, if you would like some more Vuelta a España content, we've got plenty more for you in one very handy playlist, which you can find in the top corner up there. Or on the other hand, if you didn't see our Orica BikeExchange bus tour from a couple of years ago, you can find that in the bottom corner down there. And subscribe to the channel. All you've got to do is click on the globe. It's really easy and it's free.